But Jude Bellingham, he's someone that Gareth Southgate is slowly starting to rely upon in that midfield. For someone at his age to be taking on this role at this World Cup, potentially one of the breakout stars as well, Tim. I mean, he's been absolutely impressive for Dortmund. Yeah,
I mean, even when in the friendlies we spoke about when England hadn't been playing well, he was been outstanding. He's forced his way into the starting 11. He's a superstar, this kid, superstar. I mean, he's gone away, he's gone to Germany for his development, he's playing for Dortmund, he's captain in Dortmund, he's just a top draw player, he's got everything, every facet what a midfield player needs. He's got pace, he can dribble with the ball, his decision making is good, his range of passing is good, and I still believe that the boy in his head feels like he can develop, and that is a key component to not think you've cracked it, not get too big for your boots, and I think this boy has got a huge future for England and for one of the biggest clubs in the world.
Tim, where would you play him for an ex-midfielder yourself? Where do you think his best position is?
I think if you play him as a 6, I think you're putting the reins on someone what just is a tiger waiting to come out. You know, you just let him go. Just let him go, let him burst up and down that field, let him go and follow the ball around. I think he's clever enough to know when he has to, you know, curb it. Just sit in there. I think he's got an intelligent football brain. But I think Declan Rice just sitting in the middle is perfect foil for him.
Do you think that's the best balance is for Declan Rice with Jude Bellingham rather than, for example,
but no, I
Jordan
think
Henderson?
Declan Rice with Jude Bellingham and Phil Foden, in my opinion, but he's going to play Mason Mount there today. I think they're going to go 4-3-3. I think they really will, and I think Saka will play off the right, Harry Kane down the middle and Raheem Sterling on the left. Hopefully, that there's just one sitting midfield player and that is Declan Rice, but that boy, superstar.
I first see Bellingham in a schoolboy game. It was an under-16 game and he was an under-15. And he was the best player on the pitch by a country mile. He was incredible, and you could tell straight away from that day that he was going to go all the way. I didn't expect him to go all the way to maybe one day winning the Ballon d'Or. That's how highly I think of him.
His
He's an exceptional talent. And like you said, England to have not just Bellingham, Mason Mount, he's touched on that, Grealish and Harry Kane. We have got some great attacking options and they all need to be on the pitch at the same time.
We talk about Jude Bellingham and he's someone at that age. Again, I'm mentioning about Dortmund because he's one of the leadership figures as well in the Dortmund side. He's played as a captain. I think he's the 3rd captain in the squad. At that age, you talk about his ceiling. Where would you say his ceiling is at when you compare him to, say, maybe Phil Foden? It's the other young talent that we have in the side. Extremely, again, different roles, different players, different profiles. But in terms of ceiling, would you say Jude Bellingham has a higher ceiling than Phil Foden?
Oof.
It's tricky, isn't it?
Good question.
No, I feel that goal scorers and people who win games like that, they're paid the big bucks. The Ronaldos and Messis. And Foden is in that kind of mould. Well, he's a box-to-box number 8. He's brilliant with his defensive responsibilities. Yeah. Like you said, he's a box-to-box. So as a central midfielder, he could be the top 2 or 3 in the whole world. But for me, Foden, that can win games on his own, just special talent. I just feel that he'll have a higher ceiling.
I think it's the excitement of Phil. Phil's pleasing on the eye. My nan could watch him play and get on the edge of her seat, where Jude Bellingham wouldn't excite, but to the purist, he's doing a fantastic job. You know, he can do the ugly side of the game as well.
Yeah, he does the role that nobody gets to see, that nobody notices as much. It's not as pretty.
But his manager does.
Yeah.
And people who know the game. So, yeah, he is top drawer, but I agree.
You think Foden has a higher ceiling?
Well, I think he's more exciting. You know, to the kids watching, I think
changer,
Phil is certainly the guy they're going to go on YouTube or whatever they look at, and they're going to look at Phil Foden rather than the skills of Jude Bellingham.
Bellingham's 19 though. So you talk about his ceiling. Phil's already in his development a lot further ahead of him.
Yeah, he's old.
You look at where Bellingham is now, he's only going to get better because he's coming to the Premier League. It's a matter of time before he comes to the Premier League.
Well, we're saying Premier League,
where in the Premier League,
saying Barcelona, they're saying Liverpool.
Liverpool desperately need him. If they've got the finance, they should go and get him now. Liverpool need 2 defensive midfielders. They should go and sign Declan Rice and Bellingham if they can, but they haven't got the finances to do it.
There'll be a fight for him. There'll be a fight.
Yeah.
There'll be war.
But that's how he'll get better, by playing in better leagues with better players, playing regularly at the top of the league, top of the Champions League with better players in harder leagues. He will get better by coming to the Premier League.
Yeah. So Liverpool for you, where do you think he'll go?
I don't mind where he goes as long as he don't go to Man City, because we need a more competitive league. I mean, if he goes to Man City, we might as well just pull the shutters down and go home every start of every season. I mean, if he goes to Man City, that is just an incredible signing, but you wouldn't rule it out. Certainly wouldn't. Newcastle possibly. Maybe it's not big enough for him yet, but in a few years it might be.
Kieran?
I agree that Liverpool need him, but I feel that if all the clubs are pitching to him, I just don't know how you can turn down Pep as a player. That's my...
You can't.
You just can't. You just can't.
Real Madrid might have an argument there.
Well,